Hello and welcome to this inspiring video about business, innovation, and building the future. Today, we are going to explore an extraordinary book that has changed how modern startups are created. This wonderful book is called Zero to One, and it was written by a famous investor named Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a highly successful billionaire, a technology entrepreneur, and a venture capitalist. He was one of the brilliant co-founders of the international payment system PayPal. He was also the very first outside investor to put money into the social network Facebook. He has spent many decades studying the market and helping young companies grow into massive giants. He wrote this unique guide to teach us how to create a company that builds something completely new. Most traditional business books teach you how to compete with other businesses that already exist today. They give you a standard formula to copy your rivals and make your products slightly cheaper or faster. But Peter Thiel explains that copying other people will only take the entire world from 1 to n. Going from 1 to n means taking something that already works and multiplying it across the globe. For example, if you build 100 smartphone factories, you are moving horizontally from 1 to n. Globalization is the process of taking existing ideas and spreading them to new geographic places. When you go from 1 to n, you are adding more of the same familiar things to the marketplace. But when you do something completely unique and original, you move your business from 0 to 1. Going from 0 to 1 means vertical progress, which is the true definition of modern technology. For example, if you create a brand new source of clean energy, you are going from 0 to 1. You are creating a valuable solution that the world has never seen or experienced before today. Every time a person creates a new 0 to 1 company, they change the course of human history. If you copy a successful online bookstore, you are not going from 0 to 1 in business. You are simply a horizontal copycat who will face intense competition and low profit margins. The next generation of successful business heroes will not build a computer operating system like Bill Gates. They will not create a massive online retail website like Jeff Bezos did with Amazon. They will build something entirely original that solves an unsolved human problem in a unique way. To think like a true 0 to 1 entrepreneur, you must train your mind to see hidden secrets. Peter Thiel always asks a famous contrarian question when he interviews people for important jobs. The question is, what important truth do very few people agree with you on in society today? This question sounds very simple, but it is actually incredibly difficult for most adults to answer. Most people think according to the popular beliefs of their current culture and environment. They repeat the opinions they hear on the television news or read on social media channels. An independent thinker looks at the world honestly and finds unique truths that others completely miss. If you can find an important secret about the future, you can build a great business around it. Let us look at a clear daily example involving two different business owners to understand this concept. Imagine a young man named Tom who wants to open a new restaurant in his busy neighborhood. Tom is a traditional entrepreneur who decides to open an ordinary Italian pizza shop. There are already 20 different pizza shops operating in his city, and they compete fiercely for customers. Tom copies their menu designs, their decoration styles, and matches their low food prices exactly. Because there are so many options, customers do not care which specific shop they enter for lunch. Tom must spend a lot of money on advertising simply to steal a few clients from his rivals. At the end of the month, Tom has very little profit left over after paying his heavy bills. Tom is trapped in a horizontal world of intense competition because he moved from one to an. Now let us look at a creative young woman named Mary, who wants to start a business too. Mary does not look at the popular pizza shops in her city because she wants to think differently. She notices that many elderly people live alone in her town and struggle to cook healthy meals. They cannot chop vegetables or stand near a hot kitchen stove safely because of their age. Mary uses her computer programming skills to build a unique automated kitchen robot for home use. The small robot can chop vegetables, cook fresh soups, and clean itself completely automatically. No other company sells a product like this in her country at this specific moment. Mary officially launches her robot business and moves the local market from 0 to 1. She does not have any direct competitors because her product is entirely new and highly valuable. Elderly people and their families rush to buy her kitchen robot because it solves a painful problem. Mary sets her own prices, earns a massive profit margin, and builds a successful enterprise rapidly. She succeeded because she focused on vertical progress instead of copying the existing businesses. This story illustrates the ultimate business secret, which is that monopolies drive innovation and success. Most people grow up believing that competition is a wonderful and healthy thing for everyone. Schools teach us to compete for high grades, sports teams compete for medals, and workers compete for promotions. We are trained to view competition as a sign of progress, validation, and personal strength. But Peter Thiel explains that in the real world of business competition is a dangerous trap that kills profit. In a market with perfect competition, many identical companies sell the exact same type of product. Because nobody has a unique advantage, they must lower their prices constantly to attract customers. The price drops until the profit margins of all the companies reach absolute $0. They are forced to fight for survival every day, and they have no money left to invest in the future. They cannot build better products, pay higher salaries, or take care of their employees well. Perfect competition is a stressful state of permanent warfare where nobody wins a lasting victory. The opposite of perfect competition is a creative monopoly, which means owning your market completely. A creative monopoly is a company that is so excellent at what it does that no other firm can copy it. They create something entirely new that gives customers a massive amount of choices and benefits. A creative monopoly does not hurt society because it drives technology forward and creates real wealth. Monopolies can set their own high prices because they have no direct rivals to fight with. They earn huge profits every single month, and they can use that cash to do amazing things. They can invest millions of dollars into scientific research to invent even better products for the world. They can create a wonderful, comfortable working environment for their talented software engineers and workers. Google is an excellent real-world example of a highly successful creative monopoly today. Google owns over 90% of the global search engine market across the internet canvas. No other company can compete with Google's search algorithm because it is incredibly fast and accurate. Google does not have to worry about losing its customers to rivals every single Tuesday morning. Because its profits are secure, Google can spend billions developing self-driving cars and clean energy projects. If you want to build a lasting, valuable company, you must aim to create a creative monopoly. Do not enter a crowded market, hoping to win a small piece of the existing customer pie. Find a tiny, unique market segment that nobody cares about and dominate it completely first. Peter Thiel shares 4 specific characteristics that every successful monopoly possesses in life. The first key characteristic of a monopoly is proprietary technology that is unique to the firm. Proprietary technology means that your product is impossible for other people to copy easily. To have a real monopoly advantage, your technology must be at least 10 times better than the closest substitute. If your product is only 10% better, customers will not notice the difference or switch to you. A 10 times improvement creates a massive revolution that changes the customer experience completely. Amazon is a great example of this rule because it offered 10 times more books than any local shop. A traditional bookstore could only hold a few thousand physical books on its small wooden shelves. Amazon allowed users to find and buy millions of books online with a single computer click. This was a 10 times improvement that allowed Amazon to monopolize the online retail market early. The second important characteristic of a monopoly is the power of network effects. Network effects mean that a product becomes much more valuable as more individual people use it. For example, if you are the only person on Earth who owns a telephone, the machine is completely useless. You cannot call anyone, and the physical device brings zero value to your daily routine. But when 1 million other people buy a telephone, the device becomes incredibly valuable to your life. You can connect with your friends, family, and business partners instantly across the world. Startups that utilize network effects must start with very small groups of specific users first. Facebook started as a simple directory website exclusively for students at Harvard University. It did not try to capture the entire global population during its very first week of launch. Once it dominated Harvard, it expanded to other universities and then to the rest of the world. The third characteristic of a monopoly is the concept of economies of scale in production. Economies of scale mean that a business becomes stronger and cheaper as it grows larger. A software application costs a lot of money to design, code, and test for the first time. But once the first version is ready, selling a duplicate copy to a second user costs $0. The marginal cost of replicating software is completely near zero in the digital economy. Therefore, as a software company grows, its profit margins expand rapidly because its overhead stays low. A great startup must have the structural potential for scale built into its initial design. Service businesses, like local hair salons, do not scale well because you need more workers to cut more hair. The fourth characteristic of a monopoly is creating a powerful and recognizable brand identity. A strong brand name creates an emotional connection of trust and safety inside the customer's mind. Apple is the most valuable and famous example of a monopoly brand in the modern world today. Apple designs sleek smartphones, computers, and tablets that look highly premium and fashionable. Millions of loyal fans wait in long lines for hours to buy the latest version of the iPhone device. They pay a very high price for Apple products, even though other companies sell similar devices cheaper. They pay for the feeling of prestige, quality, and community that the Apple brand provides to them. However, you cannot build a monopoly company simply by focusing on branding alone without a good product. Branding must be backed by superior proprietary technology and excellent service to create real wealth. Peter Thiel gives us a very clear strategy explaining how to build a monopoly step by step. The first step is to start small and monopolize a tiny, specific, and underserved niche market. It is always much easier to dominate a small market than it is to capture a giant open market. Many young founders make the mistake of targeting a massive multi-billion-dollar market on day one. They say, if we can capture just 1% of the giant global travel market, we will be rich. This is a terrible financial mistake, because 1% of a large market means you face intense rivalry. You will spend all your money on advertising and you will be crushed by the existing corporate giants. Instead, find a small group of specific customers who have a problem that nobody else is solving. Dominate that small niche until you own 100% of the market share in that area. Once you secure your position in the niche market, you can begin to expand into adjacent markets slowly. This is the exact strategy that Jeff Bezos used when he founded Amazon inside his garage. Amazon did not start by selling electronics, clothes, tools, and groceries all at the same time. Jeff Bezos started by selling only one specific type of product, which was physical books. He dominated the online book market because books are easy to ship and have a wide variety. Once Amazon became the ultimate online bookstore, Bezos expanded into selling music CDs and videos. Then he added toys, electronics, and home goods until Amazon became the everything store. He scaled up his business system sequentially by moving from one dominated niche to the next. Now let us look at another profound rule from 0 to 1, which is called the power law. The power law states that a small number of choices create the absolute majority of the results. Our human minds naturally prefer to think in a normal linear distribution where everything is equal. Schools teach us that if you study 10 subjects equally, you will get a well-rounded education. But in the real world of business and venture capital, wealth is distributed exponentially. Venture capital funds invest money into dozens of new technology startups every single year. The managers expect that most of these young companies will fail and lose all their money quickly. They hope that a few companies will grow modestly and pay back their original investment capital. But the historical data shows that one single startup in the portfolio always creates the entire return. The best investment in a fund returns more money than all the other 30 companies combined. One single success, like Facebook or Google, can create billions of dollars of wealth for an investor. Because of the power law, you must focus your limited time and energy on the things that matter most. Do not diversify your life randomly by trying to be average at 20 different skills or jobs today. Find the one single thing that you are exceptionally good at and focus on mastering it completely. Invest your valuable hours into building an asset that has the potential for exponential growth. Now let us discover another vital lesson from the book, which is the importance of sales. Many smart software engineers and inventors suffer from a bad mistake called the nerd fallacy. The nerd fallacy means believing that if you build a great product, the world will find it automatically. Engineers love to focus on technical code, beautiful designs, and perfect product features. They think that customers are completely rational individuals who look for the best technology online. They believe that advertising and sales are dirty, fake techniques used by deceptive salespeople. But Peter Thiel explains that sales and distribution are just as important as the product itself. If you build a miraculous product, but you have no way to deliver it to customers, your business will die. Sales is the hidden engine that drives the product into the hands of the consumers in the market. Every successful company must design a powerful distribution plan to survive for the long term. There are different styles of sales depending on the price and complexity of your product. If you sell a product that costs millions of dollars, you need complex sales which require personal trust. You must spend months building relationships with corporate executives and drinking coffee with them. If you sell a product that costs $100, you can use marketing and automated ads. The ultimate goal of a great salesman is to make the sales process look completely invisible to others. When you see an excellent advertisement, you do not feel pressured. You feel inspired to buy the item. Good distribution makes the customer feel safe, happy, and fully satisfied with their purchase choice. Now let us look at another critical concept in the book, which is the importance of foundations. Peter Thiel created a famous rule in startup management, which is called Thiel's Law by investors. Thiel's Law states that a startup that is messed up at its foundation cannot be fixed later. The foundational decisions you make during your first week of business will determine your success for years. If you choose the wrong co-founder, your business system will experience internal warfare and collapse. Choosing a business partner is just like choosing a romantic partner for a lifelong marriage. You must know their character, their skills, and their personal values before you sign a contract. If your co-founders have different goals and expectations, you will fight over money and power later. You must also align the financial interests of everyone involved in your startup company. There are three main groups of people in a company: founders, investors, and employees. Founders want to build a long-term vision and maintain complete control over their creations. Investors want to see a rapid financial return on their capital so they can pay their fund managers. Employees want a stable high salary and job security to pay their monthly family bills. To make your business system healthy, you must distribute equity shares to your employees. Equity means giving workers a small piece of ownership in the future value of the company. When employees own equity, they stop acting like lazy workers who just wait for 5 o'clock to arrive. They start thinking like true owners who want the entire enterprise to succeed and make a profit. They will work harder, stay loyal, and cooperate in harmony to build a magnificent future. Peter Thiel also shares 7 essential questions that every startup founder must answer honestly. If you can answer all 7 questions successfully, your company will achieve a massive triumph. The first question is the engineering question. Can you create technology that is 10 times better? The second question is the timing question. Is now the exact right time to start this specific business? The third question is the monopoly question. Are you starting with a big share of a tiny, unique market? The fourth question is the people question. Do you have the right team of talented individuals to execute? The fifth question is the distribution question. Do you have a clear plan to deliver your product to users? The sixth question is the durability question. Will your market position be strong in 10 or 20 years? The seventh question is the secret question. Have you identified a unique truth that others miss completely? Let us look at a historical story about a famous clean energy company to see how these questions work. In the year 2008, many solar energy startups in America received millions from investors. They wanted to build modern solar panels to replace dirty coal and protect the global environment. These solar companies looked very fashionable, progressive, and received great support from the media. However, within a few years, almost all of these solar energy startups went completely bankrupt. They failed because they could not answer the 7 essential startup questions correctly. Their solar panel technology was only 10% better than existing panels, violating the engineering question. They faced massive international competition from cheap foreign factories, violating the monopoly question. They did not have a unique secret about the market, and they had terrible distribution plans for clients. They focused on looking green and beautiful instead of focusing on building a real, creative monopoly. But one single, clean energy company named Tesla succeeded magnificently during the exact same period. Tesla's founder, Elon Musk, designed an electric luxury sports car that was beautiful, fast, and powerful. Tesla's technology was 10 times better than any previous electric vehicle on the automobile market. Elon Musk started by monopolizing a tiny niche market, which was rich people who loved luxury sports cars. He sold the first Tesla Roadster car to celebrities and wealthy executives for $100,000. This small, high-income niche allowed Tesla to earn profits and build a famous premium brand name. Tesla answered the people question by hiring the best mechanical engineers and designers in the world. Tesla answered the distribution question by building its own private retail stores instead of using car dealers. Today, Tesla is a massive multi-billion-dollar giant because it followed the rules of zero to one. Elon Musk did not try to build a cheap, ordinary car for everyone during his very first week of business. He focused on vertical progress, dominated his initial niche, and scaled up his system sequentially. Living the zero-to-one philosophy requires a massive amount of courage, discipline, and independent thought. You must refuse to follow the crowd blindly and stop listening to the popular trends of the day. Do not look at what everyone else is doing and try to build a slightly better version of their work. Look at the hidden problems, the silent complaints, and the unfulfilled desires of human beings. Use your imagination, your unique skills, and your personal time to design an original solution today. Remember that the ultimate goal of business is not just making money, but creating an independent future. When you build a zero-to-one company, you escape the stressful rat race of perfect competition. You build a sustainable money tree that creates real value for society and secures your freedom. Let us quickly review the core lessons we learned from Peter Thiel's brilliant book today. First, focus on vertical progress to move your business from 0 to 1 instead of 1 to N. Second, search for important secrets about the future by asking the contrarian question honestly. Third, aim to create a creative monopoly that owns its market completely and earns high profits. Fourth, build proprietary technology that is at least 10 times better than any existing substitute. Fifth, utilize network effects by starting with a very small group of specific loyal users. Sixth, design your business system to achieve economies of scale as your customer base grows. Seventh, create a strong, recognizable brand identity that is backed by superior product quality. Eighth, start small by dominating a tiny niche market before you expand into larger areas. Ninth, apply the power law to focus your limited time on the most valuable skills and goals. 10th, destroy the nerd fallacy by designing a powerful and invisible sales distribution plan. 11th, secure your company's foundations by choosing the right partners and aligning interests. 12th, answer the 7 essential startup questions before you spend your life savings on an idea. Do not feel overwhelmed or afraid if you do not have a brilliant startup idea this morning. Every great technology giant started as a small thought inside a single person's brain. They started because one individual chose to look at the world with an open and independent mind. Start small today by observing the daily frustrations of the people in your local town. Write down 3 unique challenges that your friends face with modern software or daily services. Think about how you can combine your unique talents to solve one of those challenges elegantly. Read good educational books, study personal psychology, and improve your technical skills daily. Be patient with your professional progress because building a creative monopoly requires consistency and time. Do not look for an easy shortcut or a fake trick to achieve success overnight in life. Trust the natural laws of innovation, protect your focus, and take physical action when secrets appear. The modern world has incredible rewards, waiting for those who can think clearly and build the future. Take full control of your attention, upgrade your internal mental maps, and unlock your ultimate potential. Your beautiful journey to independent wealth, innovation, and total freedom begins this single morning. Make every choice count, stay focused on your original system, and enjoy the wonderful fruits of 0 to 1.